Hello, guys, and welcome to a very special edition to the Obviously Complicated podcast. I have with me my good friend, Dallas Irvin.
You got a mosquito on your forehead.
Do I? What a way to start the pod.
Let's start it.
This is maybe going to be a little less comedy than it usually is. Oh, I fucking got it.
There's another one on your right or your left side,
Where?
around your head. No, like he went right behind you. We're gonna do a bug inspection podcast. We're talking about bug inspection now. Less comedy, more about how to kill German cockroaches.
And more about this little guy. He might be having Zooms and be doing a freak out. A lot has happened in the past week. We're recording this on September 16th, 2025. I'm sure that just by me saying the date, a lot of people are going to know a lot of the things that we're going to talk about. When I had Dallas on the pod, was our most recent episode on my YouTube here. I'm not even going to do that. You can find this place. I feel like it's almost insulting at this point.
Oh, it definitely is. This intro is insulting.
So I guess the biggest news as far as the news cycle is concerned that has come out in the past week is that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Let's talk about it, because
How did you find out? How did you find out?
I found out. How did I find out? I think I found out because I was watching YouTube in between calls at work, because I call people and try to sell them things for a job now that I'm no longer a bartender. So I made posts on it. I think is the day after it happened. I think I made posts on it on 9/11 or September 11th. I don't know. Apparently you can't fucking say 9/11 on YouTube anymore.
9/11.
Any chances that this could be monetized shattered.
9/11.
No, I'm sure we'll get to the rest of it, and I'm sure what I think that actually the biggest news of this week is what's going to get us demonetized. Maybe get the thing taken down, but we'll see. Let's get to it.
Who knows?
I think I found out from YouTube. How did you find out?
Well, I mean, as you know, I got a second job, a part-time with the plant company I worked with. It's pumpkin season now.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the Best Buy at Bee Cave, and I was just hauling pumpkins to some teenagers,
Best Buy?
No, not Best Buy. Sorry.
Home Depot?
Home Depot, excuse me.
I thought so. I was
talking about Best Buy earlier today with someone about my time there, so it just seeped in. But I was at Home Depot Bee Cave. I was hauling pumpkins for pumpkin season. Some kids were getting some stuff for storage units because they were wearing UT shirts and stuff like that. And they said they were going to college, so I figured UT. They told me and they showed me the video on TikTok. I got shown at my job.
So you saw the video?
Because they asked me
the
actual assassination of him. It's a thing of him. He's going, well, I disagree. I think it was a topic about gangs, because the term gangs. He said gangs in a way, letting them respond, and then blood.
Oh wow! Yeah, I haven't seen the video yet. I don't think I wanna.
No.
I've seen probably worse things, but it doesn't mean I need to just
You'd have more fun looking up Bud Dwyer. Some more fun one.
God damn it.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. No, just I get it. I know what happened. you know, and also like I didn't like look up the actual video because
No, it was shown to me by a bunch of teenagers going to college because they asked me, "You know who Charlie Kirk is?" I was like, yeah, "He's a Christian guy that debates liberals or something like that." And
reach.
oh, yeah, get the close up, daddy. But just shown to me by teenagers. They asked me if I knew him. I go, yeah, kind of. Never really. I've seen his stuff. I've heard a debate or two that he has. I was like, okay, I get what this guy is. A little milk toast for my taste.
I agree, but
But at the same time, I didn't. He didn't. To me, from what I saw, he had an aura of a guy who lived by the principles that he preached. So I was like, hey, do your thing throughout the whole time. Disagreed with him on a lot of shit, but I'm like, yo, go and enjoy your different lifestyle that seems to be working out for you. 2 daughters, a wife that loved them.
daughter and son.
Daughter, son. I thought it was 2 daughters, but my bad. It made me drop for a little bit to where like I had to work another 3 hours of somewhat physical labor hauling these big pumpkins onto a display that we built up from metal chairs and concrete blocks as the legs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't actually contemplate it until I got in the car 3 hours later, where like I kind of had to like start the car. I left it running for like a good 5 minutes and I just go, what the fuck, and drove off as I like listened to Pat McAfee.
Well, that's fair.
It didn't hit till the 11th.
Like the next day.
Yeah.
I think I might have not even found out till the next day. I can't remember for sure. It all kind of feels like a fucking blur now.
I would have found out by the 11th, but initially, like it was maybe 2:45 in the afternoon.
I think I found out the day before, and I'm not one to take to social media and like make a post, which is part of the reason why the fact that we're doing this right now is kind of weird because this isn't really like a thing that I do. But I remember I was watching the Conspiracy Files. Shout out to that guy who used to live here in Austin that does the Conspiracy Files YouTube channel. Yeah, all right. The cats are just going to be maniacs this whole time, apparently. But I was watching his stuff on the Epstein birthday book, and then I think I was like listening to that in between making calls at work, and then I like took a beat and went outside to smoke a cigarette and started watching shorts, and the shorts that were coming up on my YouTube shorts feed were people like dancing and celebrating it, and like that's I think when it like really hit me. Maybe like and this seems a little crazy, but I kind of thought it was fake.
See, initially, I even asked him
Because I didn't
is this
actually see the
AI made
video.
and
Yeah.
it's just circulating, and he actually is going to come out later on and go, no, I just got done. No, it really did fucking happen.
Which is crazy town. It's like I feel like we blipped into like an alternative universe where like things are going to get worse. Like, it's so fucked to say, but yeah, I don't know. Like, and then I felt like this need because I hadn't really had the I don't know, like the sort of a fuck. I'm gonna get emotional on this thing. I think probably. I hadn't really had the wherewithal to really do like the David Lynch weather report since Samson died, because he was such a huge fan of David Lynch and of me, like kind of trying to carry on his legacy. For the people that aren't in the Austin comedy scene. Our friend Samson was a really amazingly talented photographer who loved comedy and loved the comedy scene. And uh, right the day that I got admitted to the hospital to prep to get surgery, I was supposed to be at the Green Room, the last comedy show that he shot. Now we're just talking about other sad shit.
It's been tough for Dave and essentially the scene with Samson dying.
Yeah, I mean, he was like one of my biggest fans, man.
He was a good guy, photographer. He, like you said, did stuff around the scene for.
Yeah, well, it seems a little jaded to just say he was one of my biggest fans. He was my friend, you know.
Every time you see him, he just had a good look on his face. But outside of that, then on top of that, just America losing somebody's in a way.
Yeah, and like, it was less than a month, right? No, it was it exactly a month? Yeah, because I got admitted to the hospital on
the first.
No shit, I guess I was in the hospital for way longer. Yeah, I got admitted to the hospital. No, it was the 3rd. It was August 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I think that's when Samson passed away. And I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong, but yeah, it's been a fucking whirlwind. I was in the hospital for a week before I got surgery. I got surgery on the 12th. I got released on the 14th. So yeah, it was just over a week. Shout out to this guy for fucking picking me up from the hospital, driving me home.
His pussy was repaired. But other than that, it's specifically on the most important thing that has happened, especially recently. Like this whole thing with Charlie it's not good.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's pretty awful. And you know, like, I could go full Jason Louv. Shout out to Jason Louv with the Magic Me YouTube channel as well, and also everything else that he does. You know, he went pretty hard in the paint on people that were celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I think there's been enough of that, enough of people like calling people that were celebrating it disgusting. I'd like to take a little bit more of an empathetic approach to those people, if I may. It's time. It's time to leave the indoctrination. If you can't see that celebrating a human being's death is not good, despite their political affiliation or their opinions on things, and we'll get to what we disagreed with Charlie about. I think that that's important as well. I wanted to debate him on multiple things because I think I could win, maybe. But also, like, I didn't agree with him on a lot. But, like, that is, you know, there's the word fascist thrown around a lot. But communisms and fascism, you know, unless you consider the CIA, are pretty much the number one ways that you get murdered for having a wrong opinion or speaking out against something that you don't agree with, or standing for something that somebody else doesn't agree with. The moment that we start killing fuckers for not seeing things the same way as you is how we get fascism. That's how we get totalitarianism and you know, authoritarianism. Like, these things happen when discourse dies. And say what the fuck you will about Charlie Kirk, he was trying to at least have a conversation. You know, maybe he was stubborn, maybe he used logical fallacies, maybe that he used non-starter arguments. and I think that's true, at least in several circumstances. But also, you know, he got assaulted multiple times and didn't press charges because he was just trying to have a discourse. So, you know, take that as you will. But
Well, the thing was, he was the proverbial dam holding back all the douchey Republicans that would beat somebody up for just being a Democrat. They've talked about
oh yeah, Jason Lee talked about this.
throughout
It's
the
buffer.
entirety, like ever since
The
kinda
Charlie
took
Kirks
over
and the
it.
bench of
Yeah.
heroes are buffers from the Nick Fuentes people. You know what I mean?
That fascinates me.
And like legitimate Nazis, legitimate fucking white supremacists.
Mhm.
Like the folks that are doing that weird shit in Oregon right now.
What's happening in Oregon?
Or is it Utah?
What, an all whites community?
Yes.
That's in Arkansas.
Arkansas. Is it in Arkansas?
It's in Arkansas.
There might
They
be
did
some.
one in Arkansas, at least the one I saw, if you referred to the same one. But
Anyway,
Utah sounds very, milquetoast white, so I could see them doing that, but I haven't heard anything about that. I heard about the Arkansas one because
I'm just saying that I think
I got a family in Arkansas that might be in that fucking commune now.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck y'all.
You're going to lose your card with the black folks.
No, it's just I came from some racist origins. I definitely ain't myself.
I mean, you are from.
I mean, I am, but I'm not. But I am.
It's only for bits.
Only for fits.
Nah, just Jason Lee was saying this, which I firmly agree with, is that the Charlie Kirks and the bench of heroes are buffers from real Nazis, legit Nazis.
That those guys don't like Nick Fuentes. I made the joke to you recently where I go, now Nick Fuentes, give it 5 years, he may be a moderate in those modern times like that standards because you open up the floodgates.
More and more polarized and whatnot.
You're opening up the floodgates.
Let me
it's not good.
Make this very, very, very fucking clear.
I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about what happened.
Yeah, no, of course. But this is me speaking to the universe / the 7 people that are going to watch this. And the 2 of them that are probably starch Democrats, and maybe 1 or 2 of them that are starch Republicans, and everybody else. I'm hoping it's all 7 that are just anarchists. But let me be very clear, because this is one of the other things that has been disgusting me on the right, is that unless you're celebrating this shit, you're not the fucking problem, dude. You didn't do this. You guys didn't go assassinate a guy. Disagree with him. That's fine. You don't have to champion him just now that he's dead. But let's not be gross about it. You know what I mean? Let's not fucking dance on a man's grave when his family had to watch him die. That's disgusting. But at the same time, we need to fucking find some goddamn common ground and be able to come together on this. Pushing this even further is just going to further radicalize people and separate people even more. And that's the worst fucking thing we can do, is it's going to distract us from the real problem. The real problem is not Democrats.
Well, I mean,
they have some issues. I got issues with them. I got issues with the fucking Republicans too. Let's talk about it. But that's not the real problem.
Well, they killed
is the fucking pedophiles.
True, but here's the biggest thing that we kind of are he was the reason why you could respectfully. He was trying to bring respectful debate back, because that's the only thing I can commend him on personally. But
it's not the only thing I can commend Charlie Kirk on. But I do think that it was genuine that he wanted an actual debate rather than more division, because he could have been a way more divisive. He could have been a fucking.
Well, he had plenty of
Carlson.
He could have had plenty of reasons to be that decisive.
Yeah, he got assaulted multiple times.
He practiced what he preached, but at the same time, you brought it up towards the end of the little rant that you just had, but it deviating from the facts of we just got the Epstein like birthday Bible or birthday book or whatever it was. Like
It was like an hour and a half before his assassination.
now, do I think it's a psyop where like they kind of did that so they would make the distraction? No, I think a lunatic leftist actually did it, and they saw it happening right before 9/11, and they were just like, oh, because it was kind of inconspicuous. Was it 2 hours beforehand, before he got assassinated? That's when
Something like that,
Epstein logs at, let's say, 12 o'clock Eastern or something like that. Like it fucked.
Yeah, because he was in Utah, so that would have been what, Mountain Time?
Yeah. It'd been,
and I think it was like a 10 a.m. Event. So I think it happened right around 11 a.m.
Maybe 11-ish.
Yeah,
11,
yeah.
10, I think they said.
You know, don't fucking. You can fact check the shit out of me and leave it in the comments if you want, because I would like to know the details, and I'm probably not.
Well, regardless, they like this is a weird thing that happened on the day of, like you were about to mention, Epstein. Like our government's run by pedophiles, and then a Christian milquetoast conservative gets killed, and they go piggyback on that.
Yeah, and it's the only thing that you see online now. You know, I've gotten thousands of views on my first post about it being like, hey, like, we don't have to champion a murder. We also don't have to champion somebody we disagreed with just because they died. We don't have to do either of those things.
I mean, died is kind of a simplistic thing to me.
Well,
like,
fair enough.
If it's like a politician that's been a douchebag, it's always like, hey, hope the family and stuff. But at the same time, I'm glad you're dead. That's a different thing if it died of natural causes or something like that. But like being
Charlie
murdered,
Kirk wasn't a
champion of murder. Exactly.
Or a racist. He didn't even believe that race was real. I don't know. This is another thing that is interesting that
because a lot of people had a problem with what he said about
like the black community.
Well, not even just that, about like kind of rewriting the civil rights kind of thing, because it was so like something like that. I think if I saw that he wanted to.
There's plenty of black people that agree.
But it's also been championed by grifters, like a lot of grifters, and he had like a thing against DEI, which. I'm like, is it racist to be qualified for a job?
This is one of the things I agreed with Charlie on, is that you should be hired for a job based on your merit, not the color of your skin.
Exactly. And to have like the little ticking box things is not
right. Hyper focusing on someone's race, sexuality, or identity politics in general. Now, I'm not saying that I don't think that we should have had movements that hyper-focused on identity politics in order to get rights for those people. But in our current state in America, everybody's got rights, except for the unfortunate trans community, maybe at this point, because they're just really getting the shit kicked out of them and being the target of all this fucking shit. And to be fair, the ones of you that are real, this is going to get me canceled immediately.
Really trans?
Yeah. Because I have had friends that were like fucking legit, and that shit was true. They weren't, this is totally a joke, trans trenders. You know?
I know what you mean, like ugly guys that get into no action and then like they want to go get a boner while wearing a dress in a women's restroom. I've seen the pictures and the videos.
Well, I mean,
that doesn't seem trans to me. And there seems like someone who was put in the wrong body.
There's going to be a creepy dude in every fucking movement. You know, that doesn't define the people that are legitimately going through these struggles, to be very fucking clear. But yeah, there's a lot of people that just had mental illness that jumped on this bandwagon in order to get, you know, outrage likes or you know, like, victim likes. I think that we need to eliminate victim stance and victimhood, period. You know, we live in fucking America in 2025. The only people that are victimizing us are the rich and the powerful and the politicians and the corporations. Fuck those guys. The trans person next door.
All those are really diverse. If you look at it, it's really diverse.
It's really diverse. It is really diverse.
It is Jewy diverse. That's going to get us canceled.
Whatever. Fuck everything. No, and I don't even know, I haven't peer reviewed it or anything, but supposedly there is a like a scientific study that came out recently that the difference between a black person and a white person is less than a 0.001%, and that's mostly just melanin and maybe bone density, or and they can't say this on ESPN, but muscle twitch fiber. But that's it, and that's like less. It's like less than a fraction of a percent, and like so realistically, on paper, scientifically, we're not actually any fucking different. So anyone that hyper focuses on how so different we are is just putting fucking coal in the engine of racism.
In the most unique way possible, where it's like you could be so like weirdly enough, I heard one of my black friends say this back in Shreveport. And he goes, "White guilt is odd racism. Like, what you do in your specific past?"
Probably roofie sorority girls, and then not turn out to be as hot as they. So they have to be all like fucking soy boys or whatever.
Well, it's them and my buddy kind of hinted towards it, didn't say it himself, but I got it when I called
all the microplastics are just making everybody fanboys. I don't know. You know what?
The thing about it's like the ones who are leading the cause of like the uber progressive type is women, white women.
Well, yeah, but we've always known they were cunts, you know?
We tried to warn you, but you didn't listen.
We do all want to fuck you the most, let's be honest. But doesn't mean that you don't weaponize it. Anyway.
My boy Trey actually fucked a white girl one time. He goes, "You can pull that." Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Especially if they have septum rings or whatever. They just happen to be my
Let's not deviate from the fact that pedophiles run the government with Epstein's birthday just real quick. Let's get on that. Because we could talk about the septum theory and end it on a funny note. Because I have my opinion about the septum pierce theory.
I have my data on it.
Ryan said it best: grippy socks, grippy box, and you're getting it from septum piercing.
Uncolored hair and heavily tattooed, and pretty much the main descriptors of everybody I've ever dated. Before we get on to the Epstein stuff, I do kind of want to play the Kirk thing out to its conclusion.
Oh, the conclusion, in my opinion,
because
I got to see who was real, like who were real people instead of some weirdo. Because here's the thing: you can't celebrate a murder unless it's like Hitler or something like that, and they want to compare him to it when he was the least amount. That was like level 0. I mean, like conservatives, and how went after him.
How dialed up to like moral fortitude do we need to be on it? Because I struggle with this one, Dallas. And maybe that's like being raised by like Christian parents or whatnot. But like,
I went to Christian private high school.
I know, and you identify as one, and I don't. So, but like, even still, like, you're like, we can celebrate Hitler's death, and there's like this little teeny piece of me that's like, we shouldn't celebrate death at all.
That's fair. You shouldn't celebrate, acknowledge it, be grateful that it. Let's say you can't be like an actual celebration and stuff like that of like, and this is even different than like celebrating like a.
Like, am I like upset that Hitler totally didn't die and is alive right now in Argentina? Absolutely.
He had to have died during Obama's presidency, then.
No, he's been like getting like blood boys. You know the old blood boy concept.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He's just been getting blonde-eyed, blonde-eyed 17-year-old boys to just funnel blood into him. He's gonna live forever.
Mm.
He's actually who's been telling everybody to call Trump a Nazi. While also
where did you find this out at?
While also telling Trump what to do. Now, this is just an insane conspiracy theory that I swear to God, I hope it catches on. But it's like there's this little piece of me Like, because I didn't agree with a fuck ton of what Charlie Kirk had to say. I agreed with him on DEI. I think that was a well-intentioned but inevitably just racist in practice thing. I think in concept it was to fight racism, but I think in practice it actually made it worse. And I mean, like, look at Marvel. You know, look at Star Wars.
I mean, two amazing franchises
just
taken down in such a
just fucking skull fuck.
Was weirder to me just because of the fact of the build up. I was excited for Endgame, but then like
what?
Captain Marvel was weird to me, where I was like, okay, it's kind of good. I can see Brie Larson as it and stuff, and you know she acted it the best she could, and good for her. But there was just some stuff.
She did the best she could.
She just did the best she could. Get mad at a bitch for trying. I love you, Brie.
Oh my god, I needed that.
Tom Holland has a better ass, but love you, Brie.
I needed that so bad. Oh shit. Nah, just like two franchises skull fucked by DEI. Like, you know, and like you know what pisses me off the most about it is like, can we write a black lady well for once in our fucking lives?
Oh hell nah.
All right. It's that lady from The Whitest Kids, season 3 and 4, I believe, is fantastic. But like what a disservice to actually doing diversity well. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, man?
Well, I mean,
like, these things are good. Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
If we want to talk about
all of these things on paper, great things.
If we want to talk about truly diverse character, like who's good at it, foot fetish aside, Quentin Tarantino is probably the best ones. I always had Sam Jackson, Chris Tucker, and Jackie Brown was one of my favorite side character deaths of all time in cinema history.
Fair.
Put him in the back of the trunk. He's still talking.
It is my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, which I think is sort of the general consensus.
But
that Jackie Brown's the worst Quentin Tarantino film.
He specifically made it for a hangout session where it's like the first hour was explaining the characters, and then he got onto the motivation of what the movie was about. The second hour made like a 2 hour and 10 minute long movie in a way. Like
best Quentin Tarantino movie on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Django.
Bastards. You have the more progressive. I don't know. Which is the more progressive take? I guess in Inglourious Bastards, more Nazis died, and the N-word was said less by white men.
I had Hateful Eight. Also, is like my second. Where they were.
I think I gotta go Pulp Fiction a second.
I mean, I was introduced to Reservoir Dogs.
It's like Around the Fur by Deftones. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the second album, but like after that album, does anyone remember the first album? You know, like.
Okay, we have gotten off topic for a little bit.
That's fine. Like,
fine.
We just need to work this shit out, and like, you know, 17 people will watch it in the totality of my lifetime. So it's not a big deal. No, like getting back to the task at hand. I agreed with Charlie Kirk on DEI. I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on the like all the Christian shit, just because I've done a lot of reading about it, and you know, like the whole Jesus prophecy story, even in the Torah before the New Testament, was all plagiarized from like the Bhagavad Gita in India from like thousands of years before that.
Also, they didn't
as well as hundreds of other like texts that talked about a sun god.
Because you mentioned I was Christian. If anything, I just believe in a higher spiritual power in a way.
Well, yeah, but like you gotta loosely classify yourself as Christian.
Loosely classify, yes, I do. But at the same time, it's more of like a morality thing. Like I like the morals of what Christianity has taught me, and I know there's gonna be people laughing at me when I say that, but it has taught me it's just like eye for an eye kind of shit.
I mean, that's where the term eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind comes from, Dallas.
Yeah, but it's true. It's at the same time, like, there is a point to where Christians can't be pushed long enough, but if they feel like their life is going to be in danger or some shit like that, shit will throw down. You know, it's more about, like...
Traditional, like, super Christian thing is, you know, oh, if my life's on the line, then I am martyr for the Lord.
That's fair.
I will not fight. I will not cause violence, which is actually stuff that's plagiarized from Buddhism. Yeah, that's. Charlie Kirk. Not that he really had an option in the matter, but for better or for worse, his life got laid down for those beliefs. You know, fuck, man, it's so fucking fucked. You know what's really gonna suck is that we're like so convinced that it's like a psyop and it's the CIA doing all this shit, and it was just like a mentally ill 22-year-old.
I will admit that I think the CIA did not
Keep talking.
do this. Do you have any whiskey?
I do.
May I have a little bit?
You may.
Gracias, mi amigo.
All right. Well, yeah. Keep talking about it. You know, I'm here.
But my whole thing is this.
I was hashtag bag productions.
I don't know. True. Outside of the actual murder itself, which I think is just disgusting in my opinion, where it's gonna kill someone over their own beliefs and stuff. Like, who cares? Win them with logic, not with violence. Personally.
Yeah, unless you can't win them with logic.
Unless you can't win with logic, you got to knock some sense into them.
Then you have to kill them with violence.
But regardless, outside of that, I'm just truly, at least in my own personal life, with family members that have gotten fired from nursing jobs for posting up like being anti-Charlie Kirk on their thing. It's like, well, your cousin so-and-so got killed. I was like, yeah, I figured. I already knew what her stance was. I already knew what his stance was, because got a truly stupid family who I love. But that, different comics who, you don't have to go, this is the worst tragedy ever to come across, and I'm truly sad. When I found he got killed, I go, my first instinct was go, this is not good this is going to divide our country. That's what I told the kids, and I just hauled pumpkins.
My first thought was like, oh, this is...
Well, I mean...
that was my first thought, but I also didn't, like, have the fucking video, like, in my face, like...
I mean, I made them show him 3 times, where I'm like...
So your first thought was also...
I was like, this gotta be... Like, initially, my brain was like, this is AI generated, this is trolling, like, what the hell's happened? It's like, no, it wasn't. I looked it up on my phone and watched it, it's like, CNN was already reporting about it, because it was about 2:45 when I found out about it. These kids, they we really didn't talk about anything else. I just made a joke or two to them. Hey, enjoy college, blah, blah, blah. Don't drink and drive too much. And then... Too
much.
Yeah, I mean, be responsible. Or find that one guy who's a hoss, and he could drive. He could be 15 beers and 4 shots deep, and then he's like, yeah, I got you.
So me or Brian could drive.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But I don't get too drunk to not be able to drive.
Well, yeah.
I
don't really...
Outside of that, staying on topic, I'm disappointed in some comics I've seen here in Austin and just in general. Actual comics and entertainers celebrate just the average person posting up. There's something in their eyes, especially the ones that are bold enough to post their face while risking a job like that. Like, you're risking your job for going.
Well, you're risking your life.
And life in a way where it's like, who knows if some crazy legit Republican could go, okay, sounds like you from here, or can actually track you on some 4chan shit, where just by the stars alone, they were able to track a flag that what's-his-face, who's the actor from Transformers, posted up and changed it to a Pepe frog.
Like 2 or 3
years will not divide us
after 9/11, I got jumped for saying that it was an inside job. Now, I know things happen way more rapidly now, but like, I think it was like 2004, and I was like, oh yeah, I mean, like, Dick Cheney and George W. Bush totally did 9/11, which is not even like a crazy controversial thing to say anymore.
Yeah, well, now, but
like at the time, things were happening so much slower.
But I'm just saying, like,
I fucked around and found out by saying, like, literally my opinion, which I think that we all probably agree is true at this point.
Yeah, but is someone saying that Charlie Kirk deserves to get murdered? That's a different kind of thing versus like the government murdered our own people so we can incite a war over oil or
I'm saying
something like that.
If you can understand that, like, me getting punched in the face for that being too sensitive of a topic 3 years after it happened, like 2 decades ago, about something that was, also very sensitive. I wasn't being like, yay, 9/11.
But you were just saying, like,
it was like the government did that, and that's gross.
I mean, I get, but I don't think you're going to get punched for saying that the government murdered Charlie Kirk.
No, I don't think.
But celebrating the fact he got shot, whether it be the government or some psycho,
that's beyond the pale in comparison.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, what kind of comparison are you trying to draw?
I'm saying that, like, celebrating somebody's death that, like, disagree with them or don't, like, I don't think it was out to cause anyone violence or harm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, the real thing is, it's like, it's not good. And I kind of, like I was saying, I saw a lot of people's true intentions. I even saw the crazy ones celebrating it. Like I was saying, look at the eyes. You want to find out how someone is crazy, say no to them and look at their eyes. Because if you see the whites of their eyes, why did it just happen?
Or if their eyes and forehead don't move at all and they smile.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one.
Yeah, that's not great.
It's a classic one.
I do it for fun sometimes, just to freak people out, but it's not my genuine response.
But nonetheless, it's like a celebration of it. Seeing, like, you could be as Democrat as you want, but celebrating a murder like that, it's like that shouldn't be what the Democratic Party stands for. And you're proving, I guess, that the modern ones actually do, which is...
Now, I need to give you a little pushback on that, because I don't think that this is what anyone other than the fucking people that we're seeing online on both sides on the extreme, like the people that are calling for the Democratic Party entirely. Anyone registered as a Democrat anymore needs to be considered a domestic terrorist. Too much.
Way too much.
Too far. I don't agree with that shit at all. I think
I don't even think this is Democratic logic. This is going to split that party up to where...
And also, like, the people that we're seeing that are, like, doing TikTok dances and celebrating this shit, they're mentally ill, and they do not represent the entire Democratic Party. I think
to fracture it.
But that's what the algorithm, that's what YouTube, that's what fucking CNN, that's what MSNBC, that's what Fox News, that's what all these fucking things are going to show you. They're going to show you the fucking little tiny bit of crazy fuckers that are doing the most egregious, awful shit in order to get us all fighting each other. And we need to be aware of that. And the moment we realize that and are aware of that, and do not let that fuck with us about neighbors, people right down the street, people in our family, people in our friends group, comics in the scene, whatever it is, that's when this whole thing doesn't produce the radicalization and potential civil war. We want a civil war because we have been like, no, Epstein files. No, Epstein files. No, you can't just bomb Iran and we're going to forget about the Epstein files. Give us the Epstein files. And then they're like, we'll throw out this one little thing and then murder a guy right afterwards. And everyone will talk about that instead. Seems suspiciously fucking convenient.
Well, yeah,
And I
kind
had
of way
this-
too convenient.
Yeah, well, I had this.
Because I didn't learn about the Epstein, here's a little hors d'oeuvre real quick of the birthday book for Epstein.
Which we'll get into
until
later.
you told me, and I looked it up.
And then you
said-
watched the conspiracy
I
files.
listened to it. I listened to it at the brewery job while closing up, and the whole time I'm like, I can't talk to anybody here about this.
Why? You should be talking to everyone about it.
Like I
That's
wanted to
the
talk to
number
you.
one
I wanted to get my bearings and talk to you about it.
That's the 100% thing that we should all be talking about constantly. We cannot let that
No, but I'm
fucking thing die.
I won't die, but I'm just saying I had to I got shocked in a way where I didn't want to just randomly bring it up like that around people who I just met. So I'd rather talk to it around a friend real quick, and I'm feeling comfortable talking to you guys about it.
Yeah,
I've
no,
got
please.
a joke about it now. Well, I told you where it's just they tried aliens. Hey, aliens exist. Who's fucking kids in our government? Who's fucking who's a pedophile?
Let's kill Charlie Kirk.
And then it's we'll release some more alien stuff. We'll talk. Joe Rogan's invited someone who's talking about interdimensional beings. We'll give you those little breadcrumbs. Who's fucking kids? Okay, we're killing Charlie Kirk now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Because it went through the whole fucking modern day media timeline. Aliens. People are like, what? Aliens.
Let's start a new war with Iran. We're going to bomb Iran for the hell of it.
Hey guys, aliens exist. We don't believe it.
Or cool.
Who's fucking kids? And they kill a milquetoast conservative, like I said earlier. They kill a milquetoast conservative. And I personally believe it's just, he was probably, I don't think he was a CIA op or anything. They just using it as a psyop now because it happened so weirdly, like you said, coincidental, but sometimes I think it's Occam's razor in a way. I'm going to look at it in the Occam's razor thing where it's from A to B is a straight line. Some psycho dude killed Charlie Kirk in Utah, and the government was like, hey, here's a little taste of a book that was
you said it the best. If that's the case, you said it the best that I've heard it said, is that everybody that was on the Epstein list kicked their feet up on their fucking $17,000 desk. And we're like,
yo, dude,
we got a scapegoat.
We got a scapegoat now. They're all calling it up. Fucking Mitch McConnell and fucking Pelosi. You're just we got a scapegoat now.
Oh, higher than that.
But still, you know what I mean.
Rothschilds.
No, seriously,
the Morgans, the Chases, they were like, oh, we can keep fucking with the poors for a little longer.
It's almost ooh, Christmas came early this year. I know what I'm putting in my style.
I do think that is probably the most likely scenario. However, all of it is a really on the nose, and
I think it was
has been
just
confirmed that MK Ultra never stopped. They just started calling it different things. So, who's to say? Did Luigi actually kill that guy? Was he just a scapegoat? We don't know. The one thing, I think we talked about it briefly, was the one thing that I think the United Healthcare CEO versus Charlie Kirk being murdered is different, is that the CEO actively played a hand in tens of thousands of people dying for greed. Charlie Kirk, yeah, he made a lot of money off of what he did. He gained a lot of fame for what he did. He never caused anyone to die.
Yeah.
He only ever tried to talk to people, maybe not always in the way that everyone liked. But he was doing it for what he believed, for better or for worse. But he never really made calls to violence or enacted violence or, denied people help, life-saving health care. That's a little bit of a different comparison. But also, I didn't celebrate the CEO's death. Was it easier for me to find a joke in it? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
But I wasn't oh, that's good. We should start assassinating people. because I have a fucking moral backbone, you know? What's the fucking
Because the thing is, there's a difference between poking the bear of the American people with healthcare like that versus just, like I've said before, being a milquetoast conservative Christian. You never.
That's not a crime.
It's not a crime. Or it should be considered a crime.
Also,
or at least
like,
punishable by death in the weirdest way. There's different levels to this shit where it's like I didn't advocate for what Mangione did and stuff like that, but at the same fucking time, it's like I was like, damn, that sucks for his fucking family with the CEO. And I straight up was just like, I didn't feel as bad, but I was like, that can't, but still.
Well, yeah, I mean, like your dad gets murdered, that's gonna suck. Honestly,
But moreover, like I didn't feel good or bad about it. I was very neutral, but I was leaning more towards. I was like, yeah, but murder in this way, maybe it's because of my Christian background.
People that feel neutral about Charlie Kirk's death are not the people that have a fucking problem with.
Well, it's the ones that are being zealous about it, and even the ones zealous either in sadness or straight up calling punch a libtard or something like that.
Right, that are doing the same fucking thing.
I said it before to say it again. The anti-woke is becoming the new woke.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And it's no longer punk rock to be like these fucking libtards. You know what I mean? Like it's getting hacked. And I don't think Mark Maron's the end all be all of comedy, but I think he's right. It's getting hacked to do this shit. I'll make fun of anybody. Like I'll make a joke about any community, any person. I'm gonna come up with a joke about Charlie Kirk dying. Almost certainly, I have to. That's how I deal with shit. But but I'm gonna do it in a way that's not hack. That's like tasteful. Well, I don't know about that, but whatever. I'm gonna at least make it interesting or hopefully surprising in some way. No, it's just anyone that is like in response to it calling for violence, not a good person.
I mean, didn't they jump somebody at a Charlie Kirk memorial when he was like, someone I guess just stumbled upon it that was happening in a park and he had a scooter.
No. He
or was he
rode his scooter into the memorial, jumped off of it, and started destroying it.
Oh, and he got jumped?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Like, if like I showed up to a George Floyd riot and started screaming the N-word, good rest in peace, Dave.
It would be on par with you.
Fuck. I mean, I do like to stir the pot, but that's a bit much for me.
No, but still, like if you were to go and like,
that's what I'm saying is like
you get decisively and justifiably jumped.
Like, yeah, like what are you doing? No, I'm not saying that violence is justified on either side, but like if you fuck around,
you'll find out.
That's how it goes, dude. Like, have a little fucking self-awareness.
Why didn't y'all listen to Mike Tyson a lot, man? He said there's too many people talking shit online that's never been punched in the face.
That's seeming like it might dramatically change.
Oh, no, yeah, but still, like, throughout, like, all this time, like, at one point, I think it was on, like, his podcast where he straight up said it, and I think it was the Floyd Mayweather episode or one of the boxers. I think Canelo Alvarez on because he could speak somewhat English, and he straight up said, he goes, "There's too many people online that talk shit that's never been punched."
Yeah. I mean, like,
there are people right now talking shit.
I think men and women should
experience getting punched once.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and also, like, I think you should put yourself in an environment where, like a kickboxing class or something where you
understand what it feels like that even in a controlled environment, that shit hurts. Wait till it's uncontrolled.
Oh yeah, because it's fucking like I've watched friends of mine like punch a dude that was drunk. He had it coming, but then like he just fell over, cracked his head on the curb, and like all of a sudden, fucking they're going to prison.
Yeah, but it's
like this shit is not a fucking game, you know? Like,
There was some funny moments in some of those Antifa protests where one Antifa dude tried to throw a punch and dislocated his shoulder. And it was so, it just shows you, man, drop the soy.
to be fair, that would
Yourself
be
into a
funny
boy.
despite their political background. It would be funny if it was just a 12-year-old on a fucking TikTok or something. That shit is
Like throwing a punch improperly and then
dislocating your own shoulders.
there was one, I think it was in Portland, which is, you know, on brand with them.
Yeah,
Where I saw, it was like, you know, the country people in Portland were protesting in Portland, you know, like for Antifa, or someone in Antifa was like fucking up some shit in Portland and like tries to throw a thing, and you could tell he goes, oh, yeah. And I was like, he dislocated his shoulder. It wasn't prominent. It was one of those random videos you saw of the protest, and I clearly see it because it's stuck in my mind because I know what that feels like, having a bad shoulder myself that I had to have surgery on, where it's like, you like, you know, fuck your shoulder up and pop it out. You'll notice, and you can hear a certain scream as I heard. And I was like, oh, he dislocated his shoulder.
It's different than like the fat lady falling up the step screen.
Oh,
That was just like, ow.
I fall asleep to those. That's ASMR. Or the best ones are when you get the like the grape lady. The grape lady. She wasn't fat. She was just on a news thing stopping grapes. But it was the
It always makes me think of the Whitest Kid You Know sketch where it's the abusive dads. They're like, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that.
Zach Kreger's character's like, I like to spank them until they get that little like hiccup in their cries. Like, so, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Wasn't dirty.
All right.
But yeah, pedophiles run our government.
That's true.
Governments for the people overseas that are not going to see this.
Now we get a couple from the UK and Australia, weirdly.
Y'all are run, and if you get some UK people, I could straight up tell you, I was like, y'all are.
I think both.
Fucked.
I think both probably. I think maybe all of them. I think maybe if you get rich and powerful enough that you're just like, can I get away with the worst thing?
You think they did some like blood sacrifice, like some satanic blood sacrifice also on some of these kids?
Yeah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, we could get into the nitty gritty about it. I don't want this to necessarily immediately become the history of esotericism.
Also, just to end what we started off with, till we go to the fun shit, because we're gonna have way more fun talking about this. You want to take a little smoke break?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's put a pin in this before I get myself hexed. We'll be right back. Well, now it's not going to be as funny. Whatever. What I said was that I think that the way that some people use the term alcoholic is the same way that they use the term pothead. And I think there should be a very big difference. Also, do we need to immediately pause it again? Because
We may have to delete this part.
No, I think it's really funny to keep it in.
Just to keep it in. Yeah.
We'll get back to serious global issues here in a moment. It's been a rough week. We're gonna take a moment to eat some food, and then we'll get back. And we're back. Gotta take a quick throw food into our faces break. Dallas, you said you also didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on everything. What was one of the major things that you wish you were able to debate the guy on?
Really, the whole abortion thing.
What's your take on it?
My take on abortion is it's necessary if that's like your last line of defense, let's say, I know it's, in my opinion, not as prominent as a lot of people think, but like a case of rape happens, you shouldn't have to raise a rape baby if you don't want to.
I agree.
Other than that, from incest is another one. Like if just two cousins that fucked, and it's like we can't, like Florida has that because they actually require you to write down what it is for and about above actual sexual assault, like got impregnated by rape. This like I think it was 8% incestual, 4 or 3% like actual like rape. Versus like, hey, I don't have the funds to have this kid. You should be able to do what you want with your body, but you need to realize what it actually is at the end of the day and stuff. It's like it's not necessarily taking a life again. It's weirdly enough murder, but women should be in and have bodily autonomy.
So to play devil's advocate a little bit, but also to kind of like try to get you to unpack that a little bit. Do you believe that like the living human cell is a life?
Sadly enough, but
Okay.
kind of weirdly enough, you really should be able to do whatever you want with your body. And the sad part of it, I'm not advocating that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no.
Well, so
I'm a fan of it, but it weirdly enough should be legal.
I mean, I don't, to be very clear, I don't disagree with you. I actually am on your side with it. But to play the devil's advocate for what people would say on the other side, to play the Charlie Kirk, if you will.
Word.
Wouldn't that mean that, the baby inside of the woman now already is starting to create and have a body that they should have bodily autonomy over? Because this is the classic Charlie Kirk argument to that, which is, well, what if the woman is pregnant with a woman? Then should that woman have rights over her body?
Well, that is fair, and there should be something more rights, but if anything, it comes down to what I would say is a lack of like good sexual, like we're too sexual now. Like we fuck all the time. Like you should only be fucking someone raw if you happen to want to procreate with that person. We have other contraceptives. Yeah, condoms are like whatever they are.
I don't disagree.
We're not as. That's really what it comes down to. We're lazy in a sexual way to where we shouldn't even have to kill a baby. I do believe it. I believe you should have a bodily autonomy over yourself and stuff like that as well. But at the same time, realize
and like good if you
sexual education in a way, and then accepting if you
outlaw
want
it and you use contraception and it fails, which it is still want to do every once in a while. Then now, even though you did the responsible thing, now you have to deal with that. That's one of the major arguments for me on the issue.
Well, here's like, kind of a thing.
What if she's on birth control and you wear a condom and she still gets pregnant and neither of you can afford it? And it's like, oh, but it's illegal.
I get it.
That seems a little crazy.
Get it? That's why I say it should be legal. Yeah. Like it's nothing that I'm like championing. Like you're not going to cause me.
That was me playing devil's advocate, by the way. That was me just.
But still, No, I get it. The whole thing I'm getting with it is like it should be legal for the sake of like it's still, that's a thing we as men shouldn't be governing on. Personally,
I agree with you on that.
But at the same time, it's like
I do think that we should
have
be
a little bit of sexual responsibility to yourself. It's like holding you accountable for. It's like you shouldn't be proud about getting this abortion. Again, it's the whole thing they like to claim. Like the point I was making about Florida is like at least in Florida, for how crazy they are, it could be a Floridian thing that there's more incest, sex than rape going on in a way, or at least impregnated rape. While impregnated incest is just 8% of the abortions that were actually done. Versus
they were that dark with it.
Yeah.
Well,
It could be a Floridian thing, personally, but
here's
still,
why
it should be there for the
pregnancies happen more often than just rape pregnancies.
Kentucky.
Frequency.
Do you have like data on this? I want to know this. I want to pick your brain about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fucked many of your cousins, I see.
The likelihood of getting pregnant from a one-off rape is very, very low because the woman's body is not accepting to it.
Versus like, hey, I want to fuck a kid.
No, versus as you've been raped by a family member over and over and over and over again, that you get used to it and then you get pregnant.
You think it's rape, or is this like they actually like each other and the parents make it?
99.999% of incest is not good.
Okay,
Healthy.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be a bastard.
I mean, like, there's a reason why there's pornos about it, but I promise you it is the mass minority. 100,000%. This is never going to get monetized on YouTube. This is the furthest thing from ever getting monetized on YouTube. We
Charlie Kirk got murdered.
God damn it. How did we get here? But no,
I'm a good Sherpa.
I also think that in cases of incest, which are in the
incest,
large
get it out of there.
majority of them,
We
also,
don't need Big Bang Theory fans. We don't need more of those.
Yeah, we already had people that had fairly easier lives than their parents. That we are not now experiencing the same thing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, love you, mom and dad. But no, the most, like, by a gross margin, like in an unbelievable margin, most cases of incest are also cases of rape. And it's because the person just gets so used to it that their body loses the same.
So what you're saying is that 8% of those babies that were like killed via an abortion in Florida, those cousins wanted to have sex with each other.
No,
just
that's
kidding.
not what I'm saying at all, Dallas.
It's a Floridian thing.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Everywhere else, it's unconsensual
Also,
incest, but in Florida, it's
Florida
consensual
is
incest.
by and far not the least cool fucking state. You know
No,
what I mean?
it's not cool. It's a wild state.
Yeah, which is at least way cooler than, like, I don't know, South Dakota.
Oh, don't you be making fun of South Dakota.
We love you, Timmy Williams. So North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah, maybe the most boring fuck you state ever.
Wyoming has entered the chat.
Fuck Wyoming too, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Also, probably a lot of the incest in those places are for rape too, but they just don't have alligators or cool shit going on, so no one fucking talks about it.
Meth gators. There was a gator in Florida. There was apparently
I would love
a lot
to
of meth
tour
in its
through the
system.
Midwest at some point in my comedy career. Please don't kill me.
Remember, those are Davey Borowski's opinions. In Boise, Idaho, I would love to go to Boise, Idaho.
I'm sure there's going to be some
it's a chuckle
sadistic
fuck
dickhead
house.
in pretty much any of these towns that I could fucking at least get along with and make laugh. I will not help you hide the body, but
I will.
So, you know, Dallas will probably be my opener. So, I don't give a shit. No, the other major thing that I had against the whole, you know, the moment it's a living human cell, it's like a human life, is that if you really look at the actual science, because like this whole like, oh, it has a unique DNA strand or whatever, it really doesn't just yet once it's one living cell. It's mostly just a mashup of half your mom and half your dad's living DNA cell, which means every time that your parents fuck, there's a genocide because your cells mash up together in way more places, you know, just real estate wise that have cells that when your dick touches all of the places a cell is in the vagina and there's a cell on your dick, those two fucking cells forge a little and then fall off of your body and die. So you're creating genocides by that rhetoric every time you like scratch your fucking eyebrow or do anything. Like
playing that German song about flowers.
Yeah, I do this and go, Nazi punks, fuck off, and then also do eugenics and genocide by that rhetoric. So like it's a bit ridiculous to quantify.
I do think there should be a timestamp to when you can and can't do it. There are certain states that have up to 9 months. Like legitly over in California, they were trying to.
I mean, dude, they used to have like I think it was under the Clinton administration where they had partial birth abortions, where like the baby comes out and you stab it with a pair of scissors in the back of the neck, and that's a little bit, reductive about how they actually did it. But like these things are true. I mean,
well, how many weeks was it? 9 is like, dude, just throw it up for adoption.
9 months.
9 months.
Partial birth.
All right, fair.
Like, could live outside of the womb, and just when it gets born, we just kill it. Now, do I 100% think that, women's bodily sovereignty and abortion rights should be a thing considered like a complex problem, because it's not a black and white situation. That's part of the reason why I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on this fucking issue, is that it's a little bit more nuanced than that. It's not just, it's a life, so never. That's too reductive. You know what I mean? Like we were just talking about in cases of rape and incest and,
Florida.
However, like, if the baby's already being born, why are we killing it? Like, that seems a little far.
Well, that's what the point I was trying to get at overall. First of all,
I think that's pretty reasonable.
Like, Dave, like, legit, like, sexual discipline plus a combination of, if you happen to have the kid, easier access to abortion, not abortion, but to adoption and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Like, revising the adoption and, like, social services things in our fucking country, rather than having, like, billions of dollars put into blowing other people up for their oil? Sure. Yeah, like, that seems really cool to me. Like,
but I'm just saying, man, like, a little bit of that, and also, like, you really should have a little bit more sexual discipline. Like, not just you, but you and me and everybody. A little bit more.
I think you should have a little bit less sexual discipline.
Yeah. I don't have to deal with the stories I hear from some of my friends.
I'm also like, in my now mid to late 30s, I do always have this problem. I'm going to be 37 this year, so I'm already calling it my late 30s because I'm just...
No, late 30s is 37 to 39. And then 40s is your 40s.
Sure.
So yeah, you're in your late 30s now.
Almost.
Almost.
Like a month.
Because it's like 34, 35, 36. That is your mid-30s. You don't get to mid-30s as long as the early and late 30s.
Man.
That's any decade that you're
I'm not like running around slinging dick around like it's my part-time job anymore, man. Like,
well, this is coming from anything like as an advice from the younger generation and stuff. I've had a few pregnancy scares where I've had to spend the $54.35 for some. At least that's how it was as a CVS for the Plan B. It's like
Plan B is like $120 or something now.
I know.
Also, fact check us if we're fucking wrong. Let us know.
Mine was like in 2013.
This is how much we're not running around slinging dick, because we're like, what? How much does it cost? No,
well, I know that it's gotten substantially more expensive.
Well, and you know what's fucking weird, man? And you know, like it goes back to the thing you were saying when, you know, like the anti-woke is the new woke kind of thing. Is that like I was like running around being a hoe pants because like you weren't supposed to do that. And it was like badass and fucking punk rock to just be like sexually free or whatever. I think we're over sexualized now. I think the fucking shit's gone too far in the other direction. And I don't care for it anymore. I almost want to just like move to New York and not fuck any in New York City. Like, you know what I mean? Where like all of the best people to fuck are immediately right next to you all the time. Like, you know, and I don't know if I'll be able to have the like monk-like focus to be able to pull that off. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know. So maybe I've just grown up, but like I don't feel like I need to just give it away just because I'm like sad. I want to give it day or something. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, more sexual responsibility, I think, is probably important.
Well, it's like that, and it's just like I said. If you want to fuck somebody, at least have the decency to yourself
to be like, hey, are we going to make sure that we don't make a baby if we're not ready to do this?
So we don't even have to get abortion involved.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, like I said, should be legal in the case of like, I mean, unless someone raise a rape baby or like you said, incest, which is rape baby. It's not going to be as intelligent.
There are clear historical examples that make that not true. I can't remember any of them currently, but look them up, guys. They're out there.
Clear. Get a new computer afterwards. Get a new identity after you look that up.
Who was a rape baby that turned out to be smart?
No, it's like essentially by every generation it's been proven scientifically that at least a 5 to 10%, if the incest continues, by the way, look up Muslims, that it's true. It's fucking true where they have like IQs no higher than 77 half the time. Allegedly.
Well, that's just Bobby Lee's family.
No, he's not Muslim. He's just Korean.
What's the difference?
Fuck, you just threw a curveball. You threw a curveball, didn't you?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh,
Just my racism came out. See, I am racist, but I'm not racist.
Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I massively disagreed with Charlie Kirk about the abortion thing.
But that was really, in a sense, the only one, because if you really look at it through the whole thing, like, I agreed with the DEI thing. I did the same thing with, when it came down to, actual, he had dialect that was, okay, I disagreed with that. He seemed kind of a little bit too leaning on the whole Christian thing. Like he had Jesus answers where it's just like, hey, solve this quadratic equation. And then it's like, oh, well, Jesus. And he tried to play it that way. Sometimes. Like, he didn't die over it.
Yeah.
He had some stuff about there were some things, God, this guy get me in trouble, but fuck it. There's some things about I fear for my trans friends and stuff like that, like you said.
Yeah.
There's a certain stuff that he wasn't against them living a life, but not playing in women's sports when you could be like the worst male athlete at it and the best female athlete at it.
Well, in my opinion, real trans people aren't transitioning to go play a sport in another
Exactly.
gender.
That's why I feel bad.
Those people, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, I don't know these people. I mean, I know all these people.
They're great people.
They're great people. They're fantastic people. That's just my impression of a potential pedophile. Allegedly.
Happy birthday, Jeffrey.
We'll get to it. We're about to get to it. About to fucking get into
I'm
the
just
meat.
teasing it before I stick it in.
Yeah, like just that comes off to me as I'll say this, the legitimately trans people that I've known, like where I like gone with them to get surgery, gone with them to get like blockers, gone with them to get like hormone therapy, and like knew them before.
And what was the
during,
age
and
that
after.
a lot of them were getting these transitions, like starting it off?
I mean, like the earliest one I knew was Kelly. I won't dead name Kelly, but Kelly was a dude when I knew Kelly, and then I don't know if I've said this on a pod before, but she transitioned. She got
What was her age? Like, what was the
top
age
and
she
bottom
started?
surgery. When she started, I think she was 19 years old.
Okay, that's a fair age in my opinion.
Um,
Versus getting kids involved later on.
I mean,
also.
that's a
the guy-
whole nother fucking topic, which I massively disagree with. But she was probably 23 when she killed herself. She got bottom surgery. It was, like we're talking, I was probably
Was she getting harassed
no, rejected.
by like family members and shit?
The surgery,
It was rejecting her?
it rejected. It didn't stay how it was meant to stay.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it got like awful. And she went like $90,000 in debt trying to get recorrective surgery on it, and it just wouldn't stay. And she killed herself.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let my friends tragedy inform your decision if that's a thing you want to do. But now, granted, that was a long time ago, and things have moved forward. However, that happens pretty frequently.
I mean, there's this whole
Also, this is for the internet. This is just like hashish tobacco or
no, dude, it's like Texas weed, so it's not even weed. We're not smoking like 48% shit. You want to see your guardian angel and like get fingers by him? Then I got the moon rock joint for you. It's Gabriel's finger. And he fingers you.
yeah. So
Like I've had that before. This is Texas weed. This is like Bud Light of weed. It's like the way this weed is versus like Cali and stuff. It's like high level IPA shit
really,
to where like
really
Bud Light.
It's like somewhere in between really, really non-effective K2 and real weed.
Yeah, they found well, not even K2 that much because I've had the K2 back in the day. I've had K2 before that I became the couch. And somehow I'm handing stuff to people while being a middle guy during a blunt rotation. But the K2 made me a couch for like 15 minutes real quick.
Dude, my worst time on that shit is I hung out with this guy. This is when I very briefly worked as a, what do they call it at Staples when you work on the computers? That was easy, guys, or whatever, those fucking dudes.
Like the Geek Squad guys of Staples.
Yeah. I can't.
Did you turn the power on? I worked customer service at Best Buy. I talked about Best Buy earlier.
Yeah.
I did do that. I did that for one day before I go. I'd rather just help customers out on the floor. I don't want people to get mad at me because they don't know that they didn't plug in their TV. Did you plug it in? How dumb do you think I am? Could you check for me? Okay, you have a good day. And just give me like attitude. And I was like, okay, asshole. Can't see me face to face.
Yeah, retail sucks.
Retail fucking sucks. Show those people respect. Okay, if you're going to be a cunt to them, go, what's your vice of choice? And let me go get like an eighth of that for you because I was a cunt to you. Go do that. Oh, you're a heroin addict? Fucking, I got you.
I'm going to step out on a limb here and say I don't think you should ever give a heroin addict more heroin. That's probably a terrible idea. Unless they're a pedophile or work in the government, in which case...
Don't just give them heroin because they're going to die happy.
No, the worst time I ever did K2, man, it was my buddy that I worked with there that I went to high school with. His name is Andrew. I'm not going to say his last name because we played Worms and smoked K2. We played Worms Armageddon, the earlier version. And I got so high that I needed him to take me home. And he was like,
"You need to take me home.
We're just playing Worms and hanging out." And I was like, I've drank 2 40s of Old English and smoked 3 K2 bongs. And my teeth don't fit into my other teeth the right way.
I know what you mean. Where your teeth, I call them teeth vibration. Where like your teeth kind of vibrate and they feel weird.
Like both my upper and lower jaw were like tilted in slightly, and like the teeth didn't.
That's
quite,
the K2 twisted that you get. The K2 and the beer twisted.
And I couldn't fucking deal with it. And then he was like, "All right, now how can I move you from the couch to the car in order to take you home?" And I was like, "I don't have any idea."
I usually got over it and drove home, which I shouldn't have plenty of times. But what was the worst time you've ever had, like drive? If you've ever driven home drunk?
There's more.
Okay.
I'll sum it up. Then I basically just had a David Lynch film in his car. You know what I mean? Like, where like the curtains are coming up on the either side of where the headlights weren't. You know, we're just on like an old, like in the woods back road in lower Delaware, where there's like, it's just blackness except for the headlights on the fucking street. And like, I'm just like imagining all this weird shit. And I'm just like, if I keep looking at the headlights, I'll be fine. Then you got me back to the house and I did not throw up in the car. It's pretty impressive.
I've never done that either, by the way. Kudos.
Oh, I've thrown up in a car.
Oh, never mind. I take back the kudos. I've never thrown up in a car, no matter how far
I've thrown up in a car many times.
I've had many of my friends throw up outside my window on a car. Austin has a good, my buddy Austin has a good little story with him and me. It was his 25th birthday. He drank some of that when moonshine came, the not real moonshine that sold at the liquor stores, you know? Like, and he drank one of those things, the cherry one, and he ate all the cherries. While we had a few cherries, I had 1 or 2 cherries of it.
It's moonshine, but they just add like 40% of water to it.
Dude, he fucking puked all over, and I was like on a turning ramp, like going like this. And I noticed it. He goes the back of it, and I still had at least 3 miles on the highway going 60 with it, so I got most of it off. I wanted to, because he was stopping to smoke weed to get this job and stuff like that he was trying to like sober up for. So that night he gave me after his birthday, because he goes, last night I'm going to do that and was sober up for a good while to, you know, try to get this really good job. And he got the job and shit, but like I had his grinder. I needed 175 to wash off all this thing because I had a 24-hour outdoor wash. I was 150 and I go, what the fuck? Oh, and I looked at his grinder because I know he likes to collect the keef with a coin inside, 25 cents. So I had the exact fucking amount to fucking clear this. I was cursing his little ass out. I was like, you couldn't hold it like a man? You didn't drink the entire thing like a fucking... I'm sorry, bruh. And I love him. Is that, but like I had my throw up story. The only time I've ever thrown up from alcohol was actually the first time.
You've only thrown up once from alcohol?
I know my toleration, and it was after my 21st birthday.
God damn, I feel like a junkie.
Like I said, alcoholic. I know how to control, like, where I'm going a little wild with this just because of what's happening with the cast, and I get a little bit chattier once I get a little bit buzzed.
Dude, this is for us and our creative thrust.
But still,
watch it. Cool.
I need to know, like, a little back, because, like, I knew my limit in alcohol. That's why I was always a reliable.
To be fair, I'm not actually calling you fuckers. Although, if you survived this long in this podcast, you probably think that's rad.
Yeah.
So.
But still, what I'm trying to say is, like...
Your one time that you threw up from...
Yeah, the one time I threw up was my 21st birthday. I got picked up by Tyler in Austin. Yes, I had a buddy named Tyler Austin with me being named Dallas. Like, legitly. Tyler Linden. Not to throw out names. Austin is his name.
Allegedly.
And then me.
This is all alleged.
Because it was our buddy Tyler, who we really don't see that much anymore.
All of this has been prop stuff. We're very good actors. Yeah.
But still.
Wow. They'll never know.
I think I drank 3 mind erasers at 3 separate bars.
Oh,
and
Jesus,
beers in between.
That's a terrible idea.
That's what my friends did to me. I drank 3 of them in between, like the first bar we went to, spent a couple hours there. I got a little drunk and just trying to understand. And it was still smoking in the bars back in Shreveport, so that was fun to go and take a piss at the urinal with your fucking, like, because they had a trough in this place. Or no, that was the second place. The first one was just like the littlest bathrooms in a bar that's very popular. That I could like fill out on a Monday night. Fatty Arbuckles, I miss that place.
So you drank 3 mind erasers and what else?
Beers, at least 8 to 10 beers in between those 3 bars.
So that's like 20 drinks.
That's not even the drunkest I've ever been.
Oh no, I think I've drank more than 20 drinks with you in one sitting.
Oh, big time. I know how to party now, and it's like my body got tolerated to it pretty well, but I would take stints off to where now in my mid-30s, I'm not trying to drink as much. Like, I threw up after that, but mostly because of the mixture of everything. And, like, I got to my buddy Daryl, because we were spending the night at Daryl's. We had work in the morning, and he was already at the work site. And he just goes, guys, if you want to party, I trust you guys. He's just an older gentleman. There's a blue-collar guy that we made friends with and stuff. Dude, knows how to drink like a motherfucker. And I threw up on his toilet to where Austin cleaned it up really good. The next day, I go, did I dream that? And he goes, no, you did that. I cleaned it up. And like, just because I got to the toilet and instead of doing the thing where you get down, I was standing there just.
Yeah. I don't know. This might be shameful, but I easily 30 times I've probably thrown up. Easily.
Yeah, that's good. That can't be good.
I don't know. Probably not 40, but at least 30 for sure.
Well, I've had a few friends where I've stayed enough in their life where, like, I would spend the night at their place.
Dallas,
they would throw up and
they
stuff.
Don't usually do it. Like,
no, I know friends that.
Now, I will say that many of those times was because I got so high that all of a sudden I got the spins.
Well, when you get
if I had just been drinking, I would have probably been fine.
But yeah, you mix weed. There's a big time where you have to dedicate. Do you want more alcohol or more weed in your hangout session?
Oh, I've always been more of a drinker than a smoker.
Exactly. So you got to know as a person, like, stick with me. I can stick with a little bit of weed until I get very solid.
That's 22-year-old, and you're like,
just don't get alcohol poisoning.
And you're like 12 beers and 2 whiskeys into the night, and you don't have like the biggest tolerance in the world or whatever. Even though that's pretty much all I
got this
do
twisted
on a
where
wild night at this point. But
I learned how to not mix liquors, obviously, where I stick with one thing. My buddy,
Oh, that shit doesn't apply to my Polish and Irish blood, my guy.
I'm just saying, like, I've went from nights where, like, I think the most I ever drank was 24 doubles throughout a night, and I ended up at a strip club with my buddy, coincidentally enough, named David. This is my buddy from Shreveport, where he's straight up, like, just, just wanted to go on a guy's night and stuff like that. And
Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, what did you say? I think we might have another guest.
oh, that's great.
Wow, we got through the stuff that would be difficult to talk to Brian about. So,
Well, you two can do your thing. I'm gonna have a cigarette outside when he gets here.
I mean, we would probably just pause the podcast.
All right, word.
Uh,
Do we want to take a pause break real quick?
let's get to the end of this fucking chapter at least. So I wanted to tell you the funniest time that I threw up from drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hanging out with a couple juggalos and a couple black drug dealers, and
Okay.
a guy I used to do like jackass stuff with, who was like the Bam Margera to my Johnny Knoxville, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he was related to Bam Margera. It's true story. Shout out, you know who you are. You know, if you know, you know. I'm not gonna besmirch anybody's name because we would often fuck up like hick and full Nazi, legit Nazi fuckers. We called it hunting for bigots. And this particular night, we just all got fucked up, and somebody drove. I don't know who. I was very drunk, and even if I remembered, I wouldn't tell you. And I was in the back seat of my black friend's pickup truck, so like he could blend in. You know what I mean? However, he did like tint the shit out of all of his windows, so he didn't really blend in, and it was like he was like had like a chrome purple pickup truck in Lower Delaware, so it didn't really like we all knew that was a black guy's truck just by looking at it, but it was still funny. But we were all like jammed up in there, and I was in the back, and it was like a long cab where like there was doors for both. And I had like my window rolled all the way down because I was so drunk and high that I was like, I hate the air on my face. And like neo-Nazis and racists that we knew, and we knew their truck like was coming down the other side of the road. And I was like, oh, I bet I could throw up in there, like through their windows. And I did. I did have to give myself a little like, oh, but I was like, I'm gonna feel better. I hate vomiting, but like, I'm gonna make
You
it.
self-induced vomited on Nazis.
They had like a fucking, like a Southern flag in the back of their fucking pickup, with like two shotguns crossed, like on it, they all had like their heads shaved and shit. And we knew these fucking guys, like, it was a very small town. And we were like all at punk rock shows at any given time. Some of which I was like booking and some of which I played in. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking puke. I'm gonna fucking puke. And then I see these fucking guys coming down the road.
Like, oh,
I was
yes.
like, oh yeah, this is gonna be funny. They did try to like turn around and chase us, but they like fishtailed out off the side of the road and then just like sputtered, and we were gone. my friends were always like, "Ah, fuck," because they were all like fucked up too. So like allegedly, and so they were like trying to find shit to like be like, "Fuck, we gotta arm ourselves," because they saw me do it. And then they fishtailed out, and my friend who was driving, he was just like, "We out." Like, so that's the funniest time I've ever vomited.
Did they have their windows down, or was it just on the
Oh
truck?
yeah, it was in the middle of summer, dude. That was why I needed the window down, or I was gonna puke because it was like hot summer.
Do you not have ACs in your car there?
Well, yeah, but like it was like we just got it in the car, and I was like already like, you know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so it was like a million fucking degrees, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking puke," and they're like, "Just roll the fucking window down, stick your head on the goddamn window so you don't throw up in the car, or the truck." But yeah, pretty funny. All right, let's go have a cigarette. Did I pause it? Cancel. I'm gonna pause it. Hey, and we actually will talk about the Jeffrey Epstein book, even if they kill me. I am not suicidal. And we are back for probably not the last pause break if I had to put money on it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But I did want to get into the one thing that we've kind of been like, hey, let's save that for the end. Well, I guess actually what we said we could save for the end is the funnies, but we've been doing the funnies pretty much throughout. Is that the Jeffrey Epstein birthday book was released, what, like 2 hours, an hour and a half, 2 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
Yeah, I think that's what you told me.
Well, then,
It was like that day that it happened, maybe a couple hours beforehand, whether it be 2 hours or some shit like that.
yeah, I
It
don't
was
know.
released right before he died,
Mhm.
and it was almost. I mean, you kind of referenced it where like I said that the elites that are in control of this shit probably goes, hey, we're gonna release a little bit of an hors d'oeuvre for yourself, and they saw Charlie Kirk get massacred by a crazy person, and they're like, oh, we got a scapegoat now.
Yeah, well, we can just completely distract this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most important thing that we should be talking. And a lot of people on the right are going to really hate that I bring this up because the job of the right now is to champion Charlie Kirk and just 100% throw yourself behind the conservative movement, which includes Donald Trump. However, like the letter with the drawing that was,
What was the drawing?
it was like of a woman's torso. And like it had like little boobs underneath, like part of like the note that he wrote. You know, the famous last line was, "Let every day be a new secret, another new wonderful secret or beautiful secret," or some shit like that. And then where the pubic hair would be was his signature.
Donald Trump.
Well, I think it just said Donald.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
Mm.
we've seen his signature enough at this point to be like, ah. And also, like, when it got brought up in the, what is it, the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal or something, before, he was like, I don't even draw. And then, like, just like a bunch of people came out with, like, videos of, like, going into galleries of, like, the Trump Towers where there's just his drawings everywhere. It's like skylines that he drew, like with the same fucking signature and shit. It's like, you guys aren't even trying to cover this shit up.
I mean, in a way, I mean, like I said, they're using his murder, like I think, to kind of just go, yeah. We got kid fuckers here, but like something egregious happened on live television.
Or our dystopian version of live television, I suppose. Because I remember, Dallas, do you remember? You remember the world before Charlie Kirk got assassinated? Everyone was like, we're not really so mad at the other people. We're mad at you guys for not releasing the Epstein files.
It's anything, man.
We were like united, kind of weirdly. I mean, there were still fringe fuckers, but nobody, like the majority of people weren't paying attention to fringe fuckers. You know, like people that were like so far on the left or so far on the right. And most people were like, yeah, got it. Who the fuck is fucking children in our government?
At least a good portion of it, because they even with like kind of compromising with Rogan, they've kind of gotten, because he was talking about Epstein files for so long, especially when it came out after his death. Death. Yeah.
And 9/11 was done by planes.
Oh Lord, it's just something to think about. To where I don't understand why people aren't more concerned about. Like, it actually concerns me more and more, like, because I don't think everybody was. I think a good portion of us were just fringing on each other, like left versus right, and this and that. And just, oh, look at these stupid liberals, and look at these stupid conservatives, and this guy's a Nazi, and this chick is a communist, and bullshit like that. And we were just arguing with each other.
You know,
someone decided to throw the punch.
About that statement, though, I just noticed this, and I have to.
But we were like looking at it on our phones versus kind of weirdly like uniting, because like after there's more people, you know, that I would say that there's less people that actually celebrate Charlie Kirk's death online, and more people going, if this is how liberals and Democrats are going to be, I don't even want to be associated, you know, with it, where they either go to moderate or maybe come to the conservative side in a way.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I hope that it like might bring some sort of clarity to the insanity of everything. I do for sure know that I see more extremism on both the left and the right being shoved in my face about this specific thing. I do think it's very important to be like, of course they're going to show you the extremes on both sides, people that are like calling for violence on both sides in order to keep us fighting each other, which is the, you know, the whole point I was trying to make in the first place, is that like it's to distract from, like, you know, in a pre-Charlie Kirk dying world, most of the people that are posting about Charlie Kirk had like an illusory knowledge of him. You know, like they were like not super aware of what he did or what he's doing.
Or they'll listen to whatever side of the aisle they live on about Charlie Kirk kind of shit.
You know, so like, you know, in the like, oh, he's a martyr for Jesus side of things, like, yeah, Dick Grayson. No, sir. No, apparently you can't even jump up there. Cats can't scratch the couch. Is the rule, even though they do often. You know what I mean? Like, we were all like, I thought the mass majority of like decent human beings, and I don't know, a hot take. I think that's most of America. I think that's like 70 to 80% of America. And then you might have like 10 to 15% of crazies on either side. And that's not even including the government. But like, I still think like 70% of this country is fairly reasonable and hopefully has a fucking backbone that is not got the constitution of a chocolate eclair, to quote John Mulaney's father.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think that most of those people, probably 70% of that 70% of people, oh yeah, he's gonna have to show his butthole to the camera. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. We're like, we're not gonna give up on this Jeffrey Epstein thing. You know,
At least wanting to know.
I think it was like
wanting to know who was.
It was like
actually
critical mass. Like if something else didn't happen, it would have gotten to the point where we were like, we don't care what else you're doing, Donald Trump. We're gonna come all sit in the Oval Office and talk to you about it. You know, which then he'd be like, it's not even me, it's the Rothschilds and the Morgans and the Chases, and they're like, it's not even us, it's Hamas in Israel, or whatever the fucking escalation of that is. And then it's like, they're like, it's not even us, it's the Illuminati, and they're like, it's not even us, it's the Skull and Bones, And then eventually we find like 6 people, and we're like, we're gonna kill you guys now. Allegedly, Hey, let this be stated. I will not get drunk and fall off my balcony.
I would like to be stated that I will not get drunk and send dick pics to my ex.
Also, I live on the first floor. So
and she changed her number.
Get me rich and famous enough that I have a balcony, and then throw me off of it. No, I think that, like, we were all so focused on that, and then new shit about it dropped, and then this happened, and then...
Like I said, I think it just lined up, universally speaking, to where they saw it happening, and they called each other up going, hey, we got a little bit of a scapegoat. We did release that thing, right? Like, we did release the thing about the birthday book, right? Well, Charlie Kirk just got shot by a crazy person, so we're going to scapegoat on that for a while. And then the news cycle has just been that instead of, hey, we found Epstein's book, his little birthday book, and orange guy in charge of it. Did
not
they get
found.
Like, not
found.
Oh, not found. Never mind.
Just released.
Just released.
They had it the whole time. Which is like, this is how they do things. Is they'll be like, oh, you guys really want something, we'll release it and then distract you from it, because it's not everything you want.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
It's just a little taste. Like I said, it's an hors d'oeuvre.
And then you forget about the hors d'oeuvre because they're serving you an entree that's going to distract you from what everybody was unitedly focused on.
And like I said at the beginning of this thing, kid fuckers run the government.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so fucking wild, man. I remember, like, when I first, like, was, uncovering, like, the, like, Golden Dawn, Masonry, Skull and Bones kind of, like, thing that, the government is, like, in all this stuff, and, Alex Jones is, like, filming, like,
Bohemian Grove and shit.
Yeah. And, like, say what you will about Alex Jones, but I think he just, like, pierced the veil, and then it drove him mad, like, in a Lovecraftian kind of way. Like, he saw how horrible it actually was.
Well, I mean, he stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's, like, the basis of the Lovecraftian horror thing of, like, oh, you found out the truth, and it drove you mad. Yeah, So, here we are talking about it. So, like, no, like, I think that, yeah, obviously, it's a tragedy that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Obviously. It's a fucking horrible, egregious act. I think even more of a tragedy than him dying would be both sides radicalizing and fighting each other rather than focusing on what he would consider pure evil of like people fucking and sacrificing and sex trafficking children. So if you actually give a fuck about Charlie Kirk, the internet, say a Hail Mary, give a prayer to him, his, Erica Kurt and like all his children and whatnot, fucking go light a candle or whatever the fuck, and then keep grilling the government about who the fuck is fucking children and selling them and trading them.
Nice to know.
I think it's the only actual moral standpoint. That might be a hot take. That we still get back to the figuring out who the fuck kids, and unless like Jesus Christ himself comes down from the sky and pokes him on his little button nose, the old Charlie Kirk. He comes back from the dead. He's gonna just be dead. What do you think he would want us to investigate? I don't know. Not being divided, having conversations, maybe figuring out who are doing maybe the worst thing you could do on the planet. Do you think that Charlie Kirk would still support Trump if you showed him a film of him fucking a 16-year-old girl? Allegedly. I would like to put out a couple of comedy specials, at least 2, so I can feel like I'm on Trevor Moore's level before they kill me.
You have to be well known enough to be on the radar.
So I'm safe.
Yeah, we're safe. No one's going to see this. A bunch of kid fuckers in the government. They've been hiding along and used. At least in my opinion, I don't think it was like some CIA operative that was like MK Ultra into, knowing how to. If you look at the kid's background, he grew up relatively conservative, probably grew up with a dad who taught him how to shoot.
A pastor and a sheriff.
Who knew how to, shoot a gun. So he just learned how, probably took one of.
I think I'm who told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's fair. I don't know. I also am just.
I really think the elites had no.
It's open to the possibility that they're like, yeah, I mean, we fucked with him.
I mean, if anything, it was like, I don't think he was trained or anything.
It's like two like type A psychopaths didn't like, at the CIA, didn't say like, oh, there's this weird trans dating activist in Utah. Probably blow over the whole Epstein thing and we could get her like quarterly bonus. You know what I mean?
That could be the thing. I think they just saw an opportunity to roll with a guy who just killed another guy. And now there's, like I said, they were, you had to act it up and put your little feetsies in the air. You had to put that on Patreon for the foot fetish people.
Hold on. What?
Talking about the little act out of the elites throwing their feet on their desk going, yeah, we got ourselves a scapegoat now, yeah.
Oh, the whole like, Johnny, we got one,
Essentially, they're probably calling each other in such a staticness going, like, because it was maybe like I think you said it, a 2-hour span in between when this supposedly dropped and then Charlie Kirk was murked. It's too close. It was on the same day. Like, it's almost like, it was.
Yeah, within hours. I don't remember the exact thing, and we have talked about it.
But regardless.
Probably multiple times.
But the thing is, like, he just.
But hey, this is a comedy podcast. We don't have to know facts.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the sound a fat lady makes when she falls downstairs.
We referenced that earlier. This is a callback.
There's a specific This Is Not Happening set by Cy Amundsen. Shout out Cy Amundsen. Where he describes the sound that a fat lady makes when she is hit in the face with a Diet Coke. It's like, it was like holy water. She was just like, like a fucking Nosferatu, but like a fat one.
Fat for us too.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. That's the Epstein files for like the old Nosferatus that are just like the heads of banking families. They're like, I knew it wasn't worth the squeeze. Meanwhile, that same lady is like 47 now, and she's like, he couldn't even get it out, but like, I do think he should probably die or be arrested. Like, I don't know.
Just thinking about some world elite over at Epstein's Island just getting a little bit of ED or just performance anxiety. There's just like some snarky 16-year-old.
Make them do the math equations.
I'd still
make the small ones do it.
We referenced it. We talked about it on the last podcast I was on, which was the last episode we put up, or you put up.
Yeah.
But really, the best thing about Epstein's Island is the fact that Stephen Hawking loved to watch midgets do equations.
I think the best thing about Epstein's Island is that a bunch of cool dudes just got to hang out with a bunch of young ladies that totally wanted it.
They wanted to be there.
Oh God!
Should we end on just pedophiles run the government? Should we just end on pedophiles run the government? As I've said hundreds of times now.
You know what's crazy is that everyone thought this was crazy back when 9/11 happened, and I was like, there's a couple dudes saying the pedophiles run the government, and that was for sure controlled demolition. So I don't believe anything anyone fucking says anymore. I liked Obama until I saw what he actually did when he got elected.
Well, it just showed you corrupt comes in different shades.
And then I liked Bernie until he never got to be in there.
Okay, can I throw something out as a scapegoat for Bernie? He goes, "Let me try one more time. Let me just try one time, and then he got curb stomped by DNC. He goes, "I'm too old for this shit. Just too old for this shit." And he goes, I live my days of just doing it. I feel the same way. Or I'm like, fight back a little bit, dude. But he's probably like, I'm just so old. Fuck it. Just pulled his own.
Yeah,
I gave it a try.
They just worked him against all odds.
It gave him
for 60 years and broke his spirit.
Or they enacted his inner Jew and just do you want some coupons?
No, because he denied coupons and the Jew gold.
He denied the Jew gold and got hit with us
for a long ass time, But there was for sure Jew gold in the situation. Weirdly, I think it's the Clintons that offered it to him. Not in 2016, more recently. Honestly, how cool would the universe have been in comparison if we could Mandela effect into a sort of parallel dimension where Bernie Sanders was the president in 2016? I don't know. On paper, it definitely looks cooler than it currently is.
But, I'm just grateful for Texas weed. It's not strong, but it gets the job done. Texas weed.
I like these. What am I, chopped liver over here?
Well, it's out, and I'm going to fill it up once we get done with the cast.
So I am, until the end of the cast, I'm chopped liver.
Essentially.
Well, we got to end the cast quick. No. I don't know. Like, I feel like I needed to talk about all this shit, and joke about it, and whatnot. It's in no way is any of this, at least on my part, is this diminishing what happened to Charlie Kirk. Again, didn't agree with him on all things. I think we established that. But I don't think it was good or just or I'll say this and then I'll let you do like closing thoughts, and then if we riff or make a joke, it'll be chill. But like for somebody that was called a fascist, who never called for violence, and again, I didn't think a lot of his ideas were something I agreed with or good. There's some things that I agreed with him, but to call someone a fascist that never called for violence, and then kills them with violence, because how else could you do it other than being so annoying, liberals? Like, killing somebody that you disagree with is pretty much the epitome of fascism and authoritarianism. So if you're excited for your political opponent to be assassinated, I'm sorry to be the one that tells you this, but you are the fascist. Because if you're upset that someone died, despite them disagreeing with you, you don't have to be a capitalist. You could certainly be a socialist or an anarchist. But being excited about your political opponents dying is pretty much textbook definition fascism. That's my final thought.
Who's fucking kids in our government?
And also that. I think that's way more important.
Yeah, milquetoast Christian getting killed sucks. Who's fucking kids in our government?
Yeah. And also, like, if you kill people that you disagree with, that's fascism.
That's a positive note to end on.
So, like, who's fucking kids in our government? That's not even fascism. That's like a fucking nightmare world that we currently live in, which is, there's like the level of slavery that happened in America. There's the level of slavery that happened before America. There's the level of slavery that's happening right the fuck now, which is more than has ever happened ever. And instead of like strong black guys to pick cotton, which by the way, not cool. Hot take. Didn't think it was cool to do
The weak ones can do it too.
Jesus. I'm just saying, for the most part, it's little girls and little boys now.
Being fucked by
And
politics.
rather than picking cotton, yeah, they're just having to take it. You know what I mean? Or build iPhones or shoes that you all fucking wear. If there's a vegan with an iPhone, I think you should die more than Charlie Kirk, probably. Also, by the way, all of your organic fucking goddamn fruits and vegetables, you fucking vegans, they're all grown with shrimp meal. Fertilizer for organic fruits and vegetables in Western countries, at least, unless you're in like Singapore or something, in which case, I don't know, do you best of luck with the swamp. But sorry, I'm on one now. Yeah, you're not actually vegans unless you have a farm and are a billionaire, in which case, aren't you kind of the problem? It's fine. This should have just been. I'm going to watch this back because this is a lot of good material for me. I think maybe it's mean enough and accurate enough.
I heard that. Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Don't let the Jeffrey Epstein thing die until we get answers. I've been Dave Borowski. This has been Dallas Irvin. Forever.
Kid fuckers run the government.